Good afternoon. My name is Mary Ellen Callahan, and it is my privilege to serve as Vice Chair, exercising the duties of the Chair of the University of Pittsburgh Board of Trustees. This meeting of the Compensation Committee will now come to order. As a preliminary announcement, this meeting has been duly advertised as a public meeting in accordance with the Sunshine Act and is therefore open to members of the public as observers. Actual participation in the meeting is limited to members of the committee and to those the committee has invited in advance to take part. Due to the restrictions in place in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, this meeting is being live streamed on YouTube and is also being recorded. The recording will be made available via the Board of Trustees website later on this week. As announced, a quorum of voting members of the Compensation Committee is present for the transaction of business at today's meeting. The minutes of the October 19th, 2021 public meeting of the Compensation Committee were circulated in advance of today's meeting and are included in the meeting materials. May I have a motion to approve the minutes? I will move. Second. Thank you. Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please unmute and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The minutes as circulated stand approved. At today's meeting of the Board of Trustees, Jeffrey Chaudhry was elected to serve as the Chief Investment Officer, effective immediately. As it is permissible under the Sunshine Act, the committee convened an executive session for the purpose of discussing the compensation of Mr. Chaudhry. However, no action was taken at that meeting. I would now like to call upon Chancellor Gallagher to present his compensation package recommendation for Mr. Chaudhry. Chancellor Gallagher.
Thank you, Vice Chair Mary Ellen. First of all, I want to thank the board for the election for Jeffrey Chaudhry to the position of Chief Investment Officer of the university. Obviously, critical position for the university with substantial responsibility. And just to recap, Chaudhry is joining us from CMU, where he was a member of the investment team since 2016, and most recently as Managing Director and Head of Investments since July 2019. Has had an extensive career in investment in a variety of organizations, including the Museum of Modern Art, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, and Morgan Stanley. Is a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from UCLA and an MBA from the Yale School of Management. For purposes of the recommendation today, I just want to note the context for establishing salary recommendations for university officers. As this committee knows, we base that recommendation on a peer market analysis to define the competitive range of salaries. That process, we identify a suitable peer group for each position, and then look at the salary ranges within that peer group and analyze where the median, 75th percentile, and so forth is. For the Chief Investment Officer position of the university, the peer group is custom. As you know, the general peer group for most officers is the AAU Public University Group. But in this case, that wouldn't be appropriate. So what we have is in a group of universities with endowment size comparable to the University of Pittsburgh. It's a group of 28 universities. The median endowment is $4.4 billion. We've used that peer group to analyze the compensation range for people in the Chief Investment Officer position. Within that group, the median or the 50th percentile of total compensation is $1.467 million. And the 75th percentile would represent a level of $1.84 million. So that provides the context for the compensation recommendation. As is also market practice for these investment positions, that total remuneration is based on both base pay and incentive pay. We are proposing the same thing here for Mr. Chaudhry. And specifically, the recommendation today has two components: a base salary of $700,000. That base pay would be subject to annual adjustments according to the same mechanism as other officers of the university. An incentive payment program with a target of 70% of base pay, but a maximum of 100% of base pay as well. Madam Vice Chair, that would be the basis of our recommendation today for Mr. Chowdhury.
Move to accept.
Lou will
Is there a
pass
second?
the gavel over to you here.
No,
you
is there a
there, Mary Ellen?
There she
second?
is.
I'm here.
Second.
I'll
Yep,
second. I will second.
great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The resolution stands approved. Is there any new business to come before the committee? If not, thank you all for attending, and this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Bye-bye.